Cheaters don't change.
It's been a minute since we last kicked it. And by the way, just got in town, and I won't let you in this club. It's all in the sky.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. And if you are new, what's up girl? My name is Dakota. I make a ton of content on this channel that I honestly really think that you would enjoy. So if you haven't already, I'm gonna give you about 0.5 seconds to go ahead and click that subscribe button. I will literally wait right here until you're done. Did you do it? Okay, good. Welcome to the Coda Crew family. This video is going to be a wine Wednesday where I'm not gonna say every Wednesday, but some Wednesdays I'll come over here and I will sit and we will have some wine together, and I will go ahead and read my subscribers' story times that you could send in through this email right here. Also, the link is always in the description for my email, as well as my social medias, what lashes I am wearing, frequently asked questions, my intro song, all of that jazz. Always in the description box for your convenience. Honestly, I had so much fun with the last video that I made reading your stories, and just when you think that the tea stops there, it just keeps getting steamed back up. So we are gonna go ahead and get into it. I've got my phone right here to go ahead and read my subscriber story times. Before we start, don't forget to give this video a huge like, to hit the subscribe button. It is free, we already covered that, and to turn your post notifications on by clicking the bell icon in the corner. That way you're notified every single time your girl posts on YouTube, period. YouTube is unsubscribing people from my channel and also turning their post notifications off. So if you guys like love me and you want me to eat, please make sure that you are subscribed, okay? Make sure that you're liking the video, make sure you're interacting and commenting. That way we can get the videos out there and YouTube pushes it out into the algorithm more. Without further ado, because apparently y'all keep saying I have long intros, and like I honestly agree, like anytime I watch somebody's YouTube video, I like keep clicking because I'm like, oh, okay, like get to the point already. But then it's like, girl, you do the same shit, so why are we even having this conversation? Also, don't forget to follow my personal development podcast. It's called Sis Let's Heal, available on all streaming platforms, included but not limited to Spotify, Google, Apple Music, Apple, iHeartRadio, and things of that nature. Without further ado, let's get on to the ratchet story time. Okay, so the first subscriber story time is titled, it's not funny, is titled Crazy Story Ending in Death. Yeah, I know. I have to read that one first, like there's no other way around it. Dakota, my Pisces queen, I literally love you so much. You've truly inspired me to make a YouTube channel because girl, believe me, I got some crazy ass stories as well. Thank you so much for writing to me. Thank you so much for your support. I truly appreciate it. And thank you for noticing my zodiac sign, because that is like literally my love language. So we're already starting out on a fantastic foot. When I was 19 to 20 years old, I became a team lead at Jack in the Box. I had a new coworker and she seemed really cool at first. I loved her, I really did, but she was a bit older than me. She was 28 to be exact and had about 4 kids, including a newborn. So I guess let me start by saying we used to get along really good. Her and her partner always had issues. She would cheat on him all the time, but I didn't know of this at the time. One day I was having boy problems. It was both our days off and she told me come over by my house. So me being me, I said yes. We hung out outside of work, which I've learned to never do. Yes, I 100% agree. Don't ever mix business with pleasure, because honestly, anytime that I've ever had like a friend and coworker, like there's always drama or something always ends up happening. So for me personally, I just like to go to work, get my check, go home, and have that be that. It's just so much easier. You don't have to worry about drama, negativity, people taking what you say the wrong way. You don't have to worry about conflict with your personal life and work life. So girl, I'm glad you learned this lesson. It was probably the hard way, but at least you learned it. The next following workday, she called off during my shift and told me that she had COVID. I told her, girl, what? I was just with you. Anyways, I knew she was bullshitting. Obviously, I wasn't gonna snitch on her. I mean, girl, get them COVID hours, but I did joke around and told her, why are you lying, and laughed it off. I told her, you know what, that's fine, call off, just please call me earlier. I forgot to mention she called me like 30 minutes before her shift. There was no way for me to find coverage. Well, she got upset. Days go by, me and her just don't talk to each other. It's whatever. I didn't know if she was mad or maybe just thought I was mad, which I wasn't. I was just going through a lot in my personal life. If I'm being honest, my parents and me don't have the best relationship. Some days they just make me feel bad about myself. I'm 22 now and have moved out already, but back to the story. One day her husband slash baby daddy messages me and tells me, hey, you should message her. I know she's been feeling depressed and so on. Girl, so me being the damn Pisces I am, yes, I'm a Pisces too, period, my Pisces queens. I don't know if you're a March Pisces or you're a February Pisces. So you want do it in the comments or just message me personally, because I have to know. Trying to fix everyone. Yeah, that sounds about right. Pretty much Pisces. I of course talked to her the following day, asked her how she was and so forth. That weekend, me and a couple of cousins were planning a trip to Santa Cruz. I had obviously requested my days off earlier, like 2 weeks in advance, and I had obviously gotten them approved already. I asked her, hey, you know, if for whatever reason you can figure out to have this weekend off, you should come with us. It's gonna just be us girls at the beach drinking, and I told her we'll be having a blast. So she goes to my store manager and my store manager tells her, no, I'm sorry, but you have to request 2 weeks in advance in order to get a day off. So we just left it like that. She told me that my manager didn't let her, so on and so forth. She only asked once, so I knew she didn't care because she didn't insist to our manager or anything. So I told myself, okay, maybe she just didn't even really want to go, which is understandable. I didn't push it, you know? Dakota, please tell me why Miss Girl decides to make a whole drama out of this. She messages our whole store group chat and says, I feel like this store is ran so unequally. Her message basically said that I can request every weekend off or whatever day I want off last minute, but that she couldn't, and that there's definitely favorites in the store. I responded to her with my message to my store manager 2 weeks ago where I had requested the weekend off in a timely manner. I responded and told her, you know what, it's very sad that you felt the need to let the whole store know about your concern. You could have just addressed the store manager or me yourself. It's really unprofessional, and honestly, I won't give you the attention that you're so badly craving from me. However, I also won't allow you to lie on my name. And told her below are the messages I sent to my store manager with the 2 dates 2 weeks prior to my girl trip. Girl, we caused so much drama in that store. This honestly sounds like the daycare that I literally used to work at, and this is actually probably going to be maybe my next story time, the group chat from absolute hell. Group chats? They never work. They never work. There's always some sort of drama. Somebody always feels left out. People are always getting into fights. Like, it's literally always something. That's why, like, I just can't stand group chats anymore. I do have one with my friends, but other than the one with my friends, I refuse to be in any group chats. Like, I literally have a daycare story where me and my coworkers all started to hate each other because of a freaking group chat, because this one little bitch wanted to go snitch to our manager and show her everything that we said because she's a little bitch. That's a story for another time. Moving forward, of course, we had shifts together. I would just mind my business and not say much to her because I know that she's dramatic and just wants attention. By the way, some of my team loves me and there's others that don't. I did want to say that because I was really strict at times, especially for my age, but I did my job really good. So then she started telling my district manager that me and the store manager were going against her, so on and so forth. I was being rude to her, but we would check the cameras and that was obviously not true. You can see that I wouldn't even talk to her throughout the shifts. Now by this point, it's gotten out of control. Me and my store manager are really close. I love her. She's like my work mom. So I think that's what made this girl really mad, was that my store manager and I had a close relationship. But my store manager decided to sit us down one day because it was just enough. We sat there and tell me why my store manager asked her what's the issue. This girl says, well, she accused me of lying when I had COVID. This whole thing started because you said I was the only one getting weekends approved, and now out of nowhere this response comes out. I don't get it. So basically the girl, her coworker, was saying that my subscriber was telling her that she was lying when she had COVID, which we obviously know from the prior messages that that's not true. I looked at her dead in the face and I was like, don't lie. You know, this is a whole different reason why you're mad at me and why we're here. She said, no, that is why. I just sat there and I was like, oh my God, I couldn't believe this. That's honestly all that she could say though. Keep in mind, by this point, she was already gossiping about me to everybody, so it's shady of her. I earnestly brushed it off and said whatever. Then she brings up and says, you know, Flora is just a spoiled brat because she has her 2 parents. Oh, damn! Oh, she did not go there. Oh, she did not go there. This is what I don't understand. People are so fucking weird. Like, just because somebody has 2 parents in the household, do you know how many people I know that had both parents in the household and they still turned out messed up? Like, that does not mean that you had a good life growing up because both of your parents are there. If you grew up with 2 parents who are narcissistic, that's not going to be a great outcome. I cannot stand when people say that. Like, I grew up with divorced parents, and I'm not saying like I don't have issues from that, but I feel like even if they stayed together, I would have had issues too. It's like, honestly, we all had messed up childhoods. Let's just not compare oranges to apples, literally. A tear dropped down my face because little did this person know my parents are out here literally just making me feel so bad about myself. Okay, yeah, see, exactly. It made me so angry. Me and my store manager were really close, so obviously me and her always talk about this. I tell her my problems and she gives me advice and so on. My manager looked at me and she understood my frustration because she knows the background story with my parents. I just felt so defeated with her comment. After that, I told her, you know what, this is pointless. I'm going to tell you this respectfully. The day you called off for COVID, we kept asking for proof of a positive result, which is pretty typical. Most places will ask for a positive result for a COVID test. To this day, it's not been turned in, and you had those 14 days off. Oh shoot, so she had 14 days off, and then she was mad because she couldn't get 3 days off for a girl trip. Girl, you're tripping. You picked your poison. Like, you picked when you were gonna have off. Like, you had 14 days off. What else do you want? You had 14 days off, so me requesting a weekend off that I requested 2 weeks in advance really isn't your business. That's between me and my store manager. And by the way, you want to know who worked a 12-hour shift because you called off 30 minutes prior to your shift? Me. But hey, I'm not throwing a fit. Lastly, don't speak about my parents ever again and how they benefit me or how spoiled I am, because you know nothing about me. I turned over to my store manager and told her my shift is over, may I leave? She said yes. So we got up and left. I ended up at In-N-Out and treated myself to food because I couldn't believe what just happened, but I also was proud of me for standing up for myself. Yo, literally me at McDonald's every other night. With a couple tears in my eyes, I did it. 2 weeks later, I ended up putting in my 2 weeks notice. I still talk to my store manager. We are literally like best friends. One day she called me and told me, dude is dead. Oh my God. I was like, what are you talking about? And she said, yes, her and her baby father were fighting. He chased her down on a motorcycle and she didn't stop and ended up rear-ending a car and passed away at the scene. Oh my God. I don't even know what to say to that. That's awful. Oh my God, that's horrible. So you know what though? I think that we can kind of dissect something a little bit further within this story. And first of all, my condolences to this girl. I'm actually gonna like blurt out her name because I didn't know that it was gonna end like this, but I'm gonna blur out her name just because I feel a little bit disrespectful. But you know what? I think there's something further to dissect. Projection has been a huge theme in my life as of the past couple of months, where I have just seen so many people who are so unhappy with their lives projecting their issues and their crap onto me or to the people I love around me. And I think that it's such an important lesson to learn that when somebody is hurt, they will hurt other people. When somebody is going through a hard time, they want other people to go through a hard time. When somebody is going through a lot in life, sometimes their way of getting attention that they need or attention that they're not getting from somebody else, or maybe they just want to distract themselves away from their reality, is always to project onto other people and to kind of act out, because for some people bad attention is still attention. Like, it's better than no attention, right? It's like a little kid at the playground who keeps testing the waters because they don't get positive attention at home, they only get negative attention. So they learn like, oh, okay, if I do something negative, I'm gonna get a reaction out of somebody, right? We don't know the story about her and her baby father, but it could have been really bad. It could have been abusive. It could have been a situation where she was being verbally or mentally or even physically abused, or it could have just been a bad situation. I mean, from the story, as you're saying, like, she was chased down on a motorcycle. Like, they probably had a really bad, tumultuous relationship. And so maybe, you know, the fact that she was home and dealing with this, it makes sense as to why, not excusing it, but it makes sense maybe as to why she was acting this way. And it's sad that it's like that, you know. It's sad that we get put in these situations that we don't know how to get out of, and in turn we act out or we cause other people, you know, a disturbance of their peace because we can't, it's hard for us to deal with our own internal conflict, you know? Like, as my therapist says, you don't know what you don't know. And maybe this girl just didn't know the proper tools and proper coping mechanisms in order to deal with her internal conflict, so she pushed it on to others. With that being said, if you are like my subscriber in this situation, you have somebody at work who's being mean to you or is making up lies about you or is just not being a nice person or causing you turmoil or chaos, literally sometimes you just have to not care about what other people think or say about you. Like, gossiping is just honestly such like a childish thing, but a lot of grown adults still do it because a lot of people are stuck in the age of which they experience their trauma and they have never grown or learned past it. So with coworkers, it's such a sticky situation because you have to be with them almost every day. You spend as much time with them or if not more, than you spend with your family. So sometimes it is really, really hard to differentiate, like, okay, like this work relationship versus this person that I just have to be around every day that I may not necessarily like and doesn't like me, but we have to kind of coexist. Or sometimes they don't even know how to coexist, and all they want to do is put like their trauma onto you or put their pain onto you, and that's where boundaries come into play, right? I saw this quote today that said the trauma version of us is a version that has their heart closed off and doesn't let people in, and the healed version of us is the version that opens up our heart knowing that we can get hurt but has boundaries. That way it doesn't get to that point. I think boundaries in a workplace setting are extremely important, but I also think that sometimes just ignoring people is bliss. Like literally just ignoring them, letting them do their thing, let people think what they want, because you can only control yourself. You cannot control the reaction of other people. You can only control you, what you say, what you put out there, but also how you deal with it. It's kind of like that quote, life is 20% of what happens to you and 80% of how you deal with it. It is honestly so true. So rest in peace to this girl. God bless her. This story absolutely breaks my heart, and I can't believe that it turned out this way, but may her soul rest in peace. And I think this is just an important lesson to us that we never know what people are going through. Sometimes if somebody is acting like a jerk or they're just being mean, you don't know what they're dealing with at home. You don't know what they're dealing with in their personal life. So honestly, just always give grace and compassion. But also, I think it's good that you did stand up for yourself in this situation, because like sometimes you can put up all the boundaries in the world and that person is still just going to try to hit that wall. And it's good that you stood up for yourself, but it's also good that you removed yourself from the situation. So I honestly am very proud of you in this situation for sure. But I can't believe that she passed away. It's honestly so sad. And it's sad too because, you know, she passed away living a life that she wasn't like happy with, and I just wish that she could have, maybe like somebody could have helped her, or somebody could have given her resources or something, because it seems like she was in maybe like an abusive relationship or something, which is why I make the videos that I make, to help women out there. I've gotten like countless messages of women telling me that I have saved them, that I have literally like that a video that I've done or a podcast episode that I have recorded has literally helped them get out of a toxic relationship. And it's all about prevention here. If we can prevent any woman from having to go through what this poor woman went through, that is honestly the goal here. And although like the beginning and middle of the story was kind of like lighthearted and comedic, the end definitely is not. But it's also a reality that stuff does happen. I think the more that we talk about it, the more women that we can help. So rest in peace, this beautiful soul. To my Pisces Queen subscriber for sending me this story, thank you so much. And now let's get on to the next one. So I have two from the same person. I think that they kind of coincide, but she sent them separately. And the first one is, I caught my man cheating, and the second one is, his mistress got into a car accident. I have to read that. Like I literally have to. There's no other choice. Hey Dakota, I love your channel. You truly inspire me as a woman. Love you, girl. Love you more. So let my story begin. November 1st, 2010, my life changed. I was home chilling because I work at night. Around 12 p.m., maybe 1, my fiance takes a walk outside. If I remember clearly, he went to the store. I'm from the Bronx, so you already know stores aren't that far away. He comes back upstairs. Look on his face was like his world was coming to an end. I asked him if he was okay. He just looked in disbelief. I'm worried at this point because he was just in shock. You always know when something is up. Like as a woman, like we always know in our intuition, like if somebody's cheating on us or if somebody is doing something that they are not supposed to be doing. Do we always listen to it? No. But do we always know? 100,000%. He began to tell me he just got a phone call that one of his closest friends' family just got into a car accident and he didn't know if they made it out alive. So of course, human nature, I'm worried. I'm like, oh my God, what friend? Mind you, at this point, we're very much living together about 5 years. Mind you, I just found out I'm pregnant maybe a week or two before this. Unfortunately, I did lose the baby to this. I'm so sorry, girl. Fast forward, I ask him who his friend is. He says, Jose. I'm like, Jose? You don't know a Jose. He got so mad at me and telling me, oh, you don't know all my friends. Okay, red flag. Yeah, 1,000%. Especially if he's getting that mad right off the bat. Automatic red flag. I let him go see this friend because at this point I didn't get the gut feeling. Long story short, a few days passed. I decided to go into his phone and I saw a contact named Evelyn. Mind you, the same number had been calling him nonstop all day. He left to go see his friend, and I called the number. It's the sister of the woman he was cheating on me with.
Cut the cameras.
Sis, the story was true, but there wasn't a Jose. It was actually his mistress, and she's the one that got into the accident. Dakota, I tell you, my heart dropped. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. I felt so betrayed. How could this man I love so deeply hurt me like this? She was also in love with him, and at that point didn't really care if he left me or her, which didn't happen because I guess he didn't want to leave when I asked him to. Of course I loved him, and I also decided to make it work. I say this to say it's hard because that situation has changed me in so many ways. We're still together, we have a 3-year-old son, and it's been 11 years since that happened, but I still can't get over it. I try my best to be like, F it, it's been so long, but I'm still bitter about it. Please give me some advice. Okay, the second email was the same thing. Okay. Here's the thing. Cheaters don't change. Habitual cheaters do not change. Now listen, I've told you guys before, I have cheated once before in my life, and I felt so bad that I never ever did it again because I never wanted to inflict that pain onto somebody else ever again. But habitual cheaters, like people in my opinion who do it more than once, they don't ever change. They don't ever learn their lesson. They just learn how to not get caught. And I honestly feel like at the end of the day, if a man who was living with you, you were pregnant, etc., could go behind your back and cheat on you with another woman, but then she gets into a car accident and he makes up this whole diabolical lie about how it's his friend and his name is Jose and he has to go see him. I feel like a man like that is, number one, very sneaky, and number two, very manipulative. And with men like that, they lie so good to the point where they believe their own lies. And I just feel like in this situation, if he were able to lie about something like that when you guys have been together for so long and you were pregnant and all of the above, I feel like that is somebody who doesn't respect you. And here's the thing, there's nothing wrong with you. You are a fantastic, magnificent woman, and you are a queen, and you deserve to be treated as such. This man right here doesn't value that because he doesn't value himself. People can only love you at the capacity, people can only love you in the capacity in which they love themselves. So that's why you have a lot of men out here who are cheaters, who are liars, who are pathological liars, manipulators, because they don't love themselves. They lack that adequacy within themselves and that validation within themselves. So one woman will never be enough because they need to seek validation from multiple sources. Like one person is not enough. And trust me, that was my situation with Adrian. Yes, maybe he did love me, but like he could not just have me. He had to have multiple women because I was not enough for him, because he needed constant validation, constant reassurance, constant attention. And as a human who only has 24 hours in their day, it's impossible to give someone constant attention and validation. So what these men do is they will have like 5 women in their phone going on a rotation, making them, each and every one of those women, thinking that they love them and that they're so special and treating them as if they're the only one. But little do these women know there's another 4 out there waiting in line to take your spot. And with men like that, you have to be very careful because, like I said, they don't stop doing what they're doing. They just find a way to not get caught. I don't think there's anything wrong with you not being over the situation. I don't think there's anything wrong with you wondering what you should do, because in my opinion, I really feel like cheating is non-negotiable. You do have people out here who say, oh, well, you know, like I've had somebody cheat on me before and we're fine now, we're married and everything's great. And if that's true, good for y'all. That's wonderful. For me personally, I feel like when a man cheats on you, that is a taint to your trust. Your trust is tainted for life. Trust takes years to build and seconds to break, and once it is broken, it is nearly impossible to get back. You can get it back, I'm not debunking that, but it is almost nearly impossible when it comes to cheating, because this man made a conscious decision, knowing that he had you, knowing what you guys had together, a house together, you were pregnant, having a baby, made the conscious decision to lay in a bed, bring it back, with another woman and give himself to her. He gave her what was yours. And I want you to ask yourself, if your child was in this situation, what advice would you give to your child? Would you tell your child to stay with somebody who cheated on them? Or would you tell your child that there's plenty of other fish in the sea, and that although you may be connected to this person because you've had a pregnancy and a child with them, that doesn't mean they're your end all be all? See, a lot of times in life, we like to attach ourselves to people because of our assets and liabilities that we have with them. So a house, a car, bills, money, a child. Not saying that a child is a liability, but we attach ourselves to humans because of the things that we have with them. And we think in our heads, well, because we have all these things with them, we can't leave, we have to stay, we have to make it work for our family. I don't care what anybody says. I'd rather have my child grow up in a broken home where both parents are separated but happy and can, you know, coexist together, or at least, you know, just have a good time when they're with you or their other parent, rather than having two parents in the household that have like tension between them, or are fighting, or are just unhappy, right? Because at the end of the day, you probably do love him and you probably do want your family together. And girl, I get that. Trust me, your feelings are validated with that 100%. But you have to look at the other side of how much is my self-respect and my worth and my dignity compared to my love for this man, right? Because your love for somebody should be here, but your self-worth, the respect and dignity should always be a scale higher. So you have to just kind of sit there and ask yourself which side is weighing more. And if your love for him is weighing more than that, then that's when the internal work, you know, comes in to figure out, why do I want to be with somebody who did this to me and treated me this way? And that's what I had to do after my Adrian situation, and after I was with somebody after him who didn't cheat on me, but they also just weren't the best for me. I was celibate and single for almost 2 years because I said to myself, we keep entertaining. It's not about attracting, okay? Because people always say you are what you attract. I don't believe that. You will attract people from all walks of life, but you're responsible for what you entertain. It's not about who you attract, it's about who you entertain. And I had to ask myself, why do I keep entertaining these men who are just toxic? And once I finally did that internal work and I realized my codependency that I had to work on, I realized that I had to work on my self-validation, worth, and confidence and self-esteem, because I would place that in somebody else's hands instead of placing it internally with myself. And I feel like in this situation, that's what you have to do. That's what I had to do. When I got out of my toxic relationship, I'm like, why is it that I'm entertaining this still, knowing what he did to me, knowing the situation, knowing what happened, knowing that if this was my daughter or son going through this, that I would tell them to get out because they deserve better, right? And the thing is too, is that, you know, I don't know if he's still cheating, because we didn't really talk about that in the email much, and maybe you don't even know, but that's the thing, is who knows if he is or not, right? Somebody who could do something like that, maybe there's a slight chance of them changing, but 9 times out of 10, they continue to do it and they just find a way to not get caught with it. And it's sick and it's so dishonest and it's so just like karma too. Like, let's talk about it, because if that girl knew about you, that's why you have to be careful with who you mess with, because some people are so protected spiritually by God and by the universe that if you mess with them or their life, you are going to get your ass handed to you. Like, literally. Like, I have seen it happen in my life so many times where somebody has done me wrong, and I'm not a revenge person because I think revenge is just ugly. But I am a karma's a bitch person, and she'll be a bigger bitch than I will ever be. So I always let her just take care of my mess for me. But you have to watch, because some people are so spiritually protected that if you do something that it disrupts them or their family or anything like that, karma's going to come back to you, or it's going to come back to somebody you love. And that's why you have to be careful, because with this girl, she knew about you. She knew about you completely, and she didn't care. And that's sick, because she should have fucking known better. And that's disgusting how she just didn't care. She just didn't care about you or your feelings. She only cared about hers and what she was getting and benefiting from the situation. And I think that's also a big lesson in this story too, is like, it's not worth it. Like, if he will cheat with you, he will literally cheat on you, okay? You're not special. Like, don't think that just because, I'm not talking to you, girl, I'm talking about this girl that he cheated on you with. Take it from me. We think that we can fix people. We can't, all right? You're not Bob the Builder. Pack it up go sell your tools or go throw them in a shed somewhere. You're not Bob the Builder. Like, literally pack it up and move on. Like, it is just, it's not you. We cannot fix anybody. People who want to change are going to change themselves. Now, do I believe that we can meet somebody who amplifies that want for change? 100%. But 9 times out of 10, it comes from you hitting rock bottom, changing. We cannot change these men. So I think it's so silly for women to think that if, okay, well, he's with her, but he doesn't seem happy, but I like him, so I'm gonna go for it, and I'm gonna have him cheat on her with me because I'm gonna be the woman to fix him and to change him. No, girl, he's gonna do with you what he did with her. If you want to know how somebody will treat you, watch how they treat everybody else, and soon it will be your turn. Okay, I am such a firm believer in that shit. Watch how somebody treats their ex-girlfriend. Watch how somebody treats their baby mother. Watch how somebody treats the waitress or people who cannot do anything for them or benefit them, and wait your turn, because I promise that treatment is coming around to you. And that's where discernment and boundaries come in. Girl, honestly, if it bothers you, that's a red flag. 11 years later, it's for a reason. Your gut is telling you something, and I think it's time that you honestly open up and listen. I think that you need to get a journal and write everything that you're feeling about this relationship and about the past things that have happened and about how you're feeling and about how it's still bothering you. And I think that you need to just sit with your thoughts and not distract yourself. Just sit with your thoughts in the quietness and ask your body what you should do. If it was me, I would tell you that if it's still bothering you this many years later, which it should, because it was fucked up, I would say I think it's time to figure out what life is like without this person, because I'm pretty sure if you take that leap of faith and figure out what life is like outside of this person, beyond that is where your life is going to truly begin and your happiness will actually start. I know it's not easy. I know it's hard, especially because you love him and you guys have a kid together, but when somebody shows you who they are, believe them the first time, not the second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th like I do. The first time. Thank you so much for sending me in this story and for asking me for advice and for sharing a piece of your heart with me. My heart is with you right now. I am praying for you because I know what that feels like. It literally feels like a million bullets are just going into your heart at one time, and I feel for you, but only you know what the best decision for yourself is. And what I always say is that if you have to ask if you should leave, that is a sign right there. I truly appreciate the time that you gave to write me this story, and I hope that I helped just a little bit. Okay guys, that is it for today's subscriber story times. If you would like to be featured in the next Wine Wednesday video, I didn't have wine this week because I'm on antibiotics right now. I probably should have said that in the beginning. I didn't mention, but I think this is kind of going to be the new like Ask Dakota, because I feel like it just is better, like it's more entertaining rather than me just like giving advice. Like I'm sharing stories and then giving advice at the end. So let me know if you want the Wine Wednesday to be the new Ask Dakota, or if you want Ask Dakotas to come back, or should I do both? I'm open to either or. If you would like to be featured the next Wine Wednesday, all you have to do is submit your story to this email right here. And you guys, it could be about anything. It doesn't have to be about relationships. Before you click off this video, and if you enjoyed it today, then girl, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps my channel out. Also leave a comment down below and let me know what you are looking forward to this fall. If you're going to any fairs, any apple picking, or any like family photos or anything like that, let me know down below. Personally, I'm excited to go to the Big E, which is a fair a couple states away from me. I'm also excited to do apple picking and pumpkin picking because girl, I had COVID last year during fall and I was in the hospital for 2 weeks, so I didn't get to do anything. So this year I'm turning the fuck up. Every apple, every corn maze, every pile of leaves I am jumping into, okay? Like you have no idea. Every Starbucks drink I'm buying, like I'm turning up this fall, because this summer was low-key whack. Don't forget to also subscribe and turn your post notifications on. And don't forget to also check out my TikTok, because your girl's been blowing up on there and I low-key am really hype about it because I love TikTok more than I love anything in this whole entire universe. Besides my daughter, obviously, and you guys. I need to watch what I say. Today's post notification shout out goes to Catherine Peterson. She said, I love how real and true you are to yourself. That's why these videos help so many people. Your story times and videos get me through so much, and have helped me so much on my journey of self-healing and love. Thank you so much, Catherine, for number one, supporting me on this channel. It's because of subscribers like you that I'm able to literally have my dream job and live the life that I do with content creation, and I'm so eternally grateful, and I will forever be indebted to people like you for making me a creator on this platform. So thank you so much. I'm also happy that my videos in some way help you, because that is the goal of me having my channel in the first place. So thank you so much, Catherine. I hope you have the best day ever and the best year ever, and I just love you so much. So thank you for commenting on my video. If you want me to shout you out in my next video, all you have to do is leave a comment down below when my video goes live, and make sure that your post notifications are turned on, because I can see who has them on and who doesn't. Okay, I love you guys so much. And but actually, you know what, but next time that we have another video, which is going to be Friday, this will all be fall. This will all be okay. See you in my next video. Bye. I'm literally so cringy, it's disgusting.
Isn't an option due to unusual rain and thunder. Baby, I wonder